प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। तन तन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी महाराज। हवाए बंदगी अबुरदार वजूद मरा वगरने ज़ौके चुनी आमदैन नमूद मरा। ना साजो न बाजो न फौजो न फर्श खुदावंद बख्शन दे ऐश अर्श। बीबी गर्दिशे बेवफाए ज़मा के बरहर बगुज़र्द मकीनो मका। गम चे बाशत गफलत अज याद खुदा चीज शादी याद बेइंतहा। तन तन गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहिब महाराज, तन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी। We are going through the discourses of JAPJI. JAPJI is the first Baani of the Guru Granth. And if I say that it's the pillar, the foundation of the Guru Granth, I would not be wrong. Mostly all the Banis in the Guru Granth are indexed in rags. But there are some which are conceptually very strong, which have to be pondered more deeply, which are not in rags. And JAPJI is one such Bani which is not in rag. Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj has presented this Bani to us. In 70 years of his life, more than 24 years, he went to different areas of the world talking about truth. And when the yogis asked him, why have you left your home and come? किस कारण ग्रहता ज्योदासी, किस कारण है पेख निवासी, किस वक्खर के तुम बन जा रहे, क्यों कर साथ लगा वो पारे. Why are you wandering like this, leaving your home? Why are you dressed like this? Because he used to dress as and where the situation demanded, he would dress like that. If he would be in an Islamic state, he would dress like that. If he was in the Sumer Parvat, he would dress accordingly. And then they ask him, what is this trade you do? Because in those days, people used to trade when they would travel. What is your trade? What is your commodity? किस वक्खर के तुम बन जा रहे, क्यों कर साथ लंगा वो पारे. How do you cross this ocean of the world? The potent question of life is, how does my pain go away? And how do I understand rest and peace in my life? We are all seeking something. Judo Krishnamurti in Adyar talks about us all seeking happiness forever. And when we explore this question of happiness forever, then we have to face the question of death. We have to face what is really life. The physical body is life. Living these different relationships, attending to the chores of the world, is that all that there is about life? Or is there a deeper meaning? Is there a deeper search? Is there a deeper question and a deeper answer? Whatever we ask for, only that we will get. So in this way, our experience of the world is potent, is relevant. Because if we don't ask for that, which is the core of life, and we ask for the peripheral issues, we ask about the peripheral issues, then we will remain there, wandering, seeking. Guru Nanak says, Gurmukh khojat payodasi. I am here to search for this person who is seeking truth. And that's why I am wandering. Gurmukh khojat payodasi. And Maharaj in his answers says that I am dealing in the commodity of truth. साच वक्कर के हम बन जा रहे. I am a trader in truth. If somebody wants to know and understand the core of life, this is the person I'm seeking. And that is why he leaves his family, he leaves his day-to-day life, and he's traveling. So in this way, if we are asking about the core question of life, if we are seeking that, then we will meet Guru Nanak. We will meet those people who trade in this commodity. There is an aspect to understand about life. We all live a conditioned life, which I called ego world, the ego identity world. And we all have that identity. The body, the mind, the conditioning of the mind is all from a journey into life. This is not complete life. This is a launching pad. This is an area where we understand that all that I'm doing is not eternally relevant. If I will face this question, then I will seek that answer. And only in my seeking will I get the answer. If I don't seek it, then I will not get it. We recite the Baani, and all of us do it in our own ways. But the benefit and the ultimate benefit of Baani is a questionable issue. Someone will find peace, will do the recitation in the morning and find peace, and that is the end of it. It's like a chore, like a temporary relief from the pain of day-to-day life. Someone else does it only to satisfy another person. Someone else does it as something which is more intense. But when I go seeking, then my experience of life is relevant, because I will seek that which life has taught me to seek. And here pain becomes a very important element. If I am in denial of pain, then it will not energize the search engine within me. But if I am not in denial of pain, then it will energize the ultimate search question. The fear, the pain will get transformed into love if I seek right, if I ask the right questions. These 4 bodies which we are doing now, starting from the 8th body, is about Suniya. And these are the entry moments of spiritual life. Suniya literally translates mean to listen intensely. It is transformative. I go to the doctor, I talk about my ailment, I listen intently. That's how my healing starts. I want to learn a subject, I go to a teacher, I listen to the teacher. That's how I learn the subject. The more intensely I listen to the subject, the teacher, the more intensely I know the subject. If I ignore the teacher, then I don't know the subject. Similarly, listening is an important tool in every aspect of life. Those who are keen drivers know that if there is a sound in the car, that's the first sign that there is a problem in the car. Suniye. You listen to the problem and you know there is an issue. You ignore the problem, there is no issue. This is the spiritual entry of life. when I listen more intently than what others do. I hear more intently, I observe more. Now, Sunya literally doesn't mean only listening from the faculties of the ears. It means to absorb. When I go to a guru, I want a solution to my pain and my wandering, my fear, and I listen intently. So intently that I am completely absorbed in the listening. Then the pain and sorrow is gone because all my faculties are gone into listening. Guru says, Nanak Bhagta Sada Vigas. Suniye Dukh Paap Ka Naas. By listening and absorbing more intently, my dukh, my pain, my sins get washed away. And he says that this person transcends death, Sada Vigas, forever in happiness. Krishnamurti talks about the ego-centered life and he says, what is beyond ego? What if there is no ego? Who is there? Guru constantly talks about a state of being which is beyond the self, beyond the structured mind, the ego mind, beyond that mind which I have as an identity. I remember the experience of Narendra Vivekanand when he went to meet his guru for the first time, Ramakrishna Paramhans. He used to have a habit of asking everyone, have you seen God? And often enough, the person he would ask would get a little taken aback because it was a very upfront question. So he, in his usual habit, he asked Krishnamurti the same question. Ramakrishna Paramhans the same question. Have you seen God? But here was a change. Ramakrishna turned back instantly and said, yes, I see him like I see you. You want to see him? He took his thumb and placed it on Narendra's thigh and took his surt, his thought, into the realm of non-ego, into Nam. And Narendra panicked because it takes an effort to get used to that state. It takes some amount of training, love. The mind go beyond itself, where there is no I. He panicked and shouted, what have you done to me? I am Narendra. He wanted his identity back. We all want our identity back. We are all secure in the garb of our ego. But we don't understand that the ego is our pain. It can become a healing, but it's only when we have the ability to go beyond the ego. If I can transcend the ego, then I go into a realm where there is unconditional happiness. Nanak Bhagta Sada Vigas. Forever there is happiness. And then the ego doesn't become a burden. Then the whole dilemma of what I'm seeking gets understood, it seems. Then I understand while living this also, whatever I have gained, if I lose, I still will be a happy person. My happiness doesn't go away with the physical life. And that's the transcendence of death. That is the reason in spirituality, happiness is not called sukh. Often enough, it is called anand. Anand has no opposite. It's an absolute word, so it's unconditional. When there is duality, there is no absolute. So sukh is with dukh. In the ego world, I live and seek sukh and I find dukh. Sukh ko mange sabko, dukh na mange koi. Sukhe ko dukh agla, manmukh booj na hoy. He says, Everyone seeks happiness. Nobody seeks sorrow. But we don't realize when we seek happiness, after happiness comes sorrow. I've narrated the dialogue of Phaedo, a very dear dialogue. Socrates, the last day of his life, teaches his friend Crato about life. And he says, all life is duality. Where there is rich, there is poor. Where there is happiness, there is sorrow. Where there is high, there is low. Where there is good, there is bad. Duality is the basis and foundation of entire creation. We can't avoid it. And where there is life, there is death. Because Crato went to get him released from the prison at night, make him run away surreptitiously in the middle of the night, which he refused to do. Morning, he was to take the poison. And he explains to Crato how the structure of life is and that there is no fear of death. Whatever death gives, takes away, life has given. What was there before life? What was I before life? इस मन को कोई खोजो पाई, तन छूटे, मन कहाँ समाई? Search this mind. When the body goes, where does the mind go? That's a very core question. That's such a beautiful search. And in this way, Guru Granth inspires us to search. Bande khoj dil har roz, na fir pareshani mein. Search this mind. This is the wall we live in, the wall of our thought. It's a barrier. We never get thoughtless. We can get thoughtless. We can learn how to get thoughtless. And listening is a potent tool to get thoughtless. If we listen so intently that we don't even focus on our thoughts, then all thoughts will drop. The beauty of life lies within it. The questions and the answers are always together. Archimedes searched for Eureka. In the middle of nowhere in a tub, he finds the Eureka. He doesn't search for it in that way, but he allows it to happen. गालिब से आते हैं गैब से मज़ामे ख्याल में, गालिब सरीर खामा नवाए सरोश है. From the unknown comes these thoughts, these mamle in my mind. The sound my pen is making, the screeching sound it makes, that's not mine. It's coming from the beyond. There are some thoughts which we inspire. Most of the thoughts which we go through are inspired by my ego. But there are a few which come from the universal mind. Today there is a word used as the universal mind, so I can use that. Collective mind, or the one mind, or whom we call God. In fact, if we search deeper, all the seeking and all the answers will come from the beyond, not from us. We are the problem. The solutions come from beyond us. I used to have this habit of letting a problem rest in the universe. And I say, I just let the answer come on its own. And sometimes it would just come. Thoughts will just click. I remember not reading about Krishna much, but I know that he used to play the flute. Now to me, the flute is a dhyan tool, because he used to call the cows with the help of the flute. So this is a dhyan tool. With his dhyan, he got them. So the flute is the dhyan. Dhyan is an important element of life. It's the chariot on the which the Shabad will sit. And the Shabad and Dhyan together will make miracles happen. Miracles, Sat Chit Anand, that which is truth, that which is my mind, that which is Anand, unconditionally. And he says all creation is Anand. All life is Anand. Everywhere we live in pain. But he is saying everywhere there is Anand. Anand Roop Ravyo Sab Madhya Jatkat Pe Khujai. The two aspects of life in the mind is the transformations of the mind. From the ego mind to the non-ego mind. That is the key, and that's where we need the Guru. I cannot transform the ego mind on my own because I am the ego. How do I do that? How do I drop myself? For this I need, like Bhagat Namdev says, Baande, vichar, Baande. Give me your hand, your support. Moko taar le, Rama taar le. मैं अजान जन तरबे न जानू बाप बीठला बांधे. You are my creator, my father. Give me your hand. Let me solve this solution. How do I go across this ocean, life river, the changing aspect of life? How do I drop the moving mind? That's the key. The yogis had a dialogue with Guru Nanak. And one of the most potent dialogues was in the last year of Guru Nanak Sahib's life in Hoshiarpur. Achal Batala was the name of the mandir. There they narrate to him, or I think maybe this was in Sumer, up in the mountains, when they say that we wander, we go to tirats, we eat the kandamul, and we are happy people. And he says, bin name man take na tikai. Maharaj gives an answer. Bin name man take na tikai. Nanak bhuk na jaye. Without making this mind stable, bin name man take na tikai. Man does not become stable. It keeps moving. And a moving mind is ego mind. And who is energizing this ego mind? The ego. And as long as I see the ego, I don't see the creator. Maharaj says, bin name man take na tikai. Nanak bhuk na jaye. And the hunger will not go away. The hunger for what? We are all seeking something. Surnar Munjan Amrit Khojde. We are seeking Amrit. Amrit without death, happiness. So Amrit Gurte Paya. So we are hungry. And Trishna is the way the ego connects to the hunger. So when I am in the ego mind, Trishna, desire, is my hunger. It always leaves me unsatiated. It always leaves me incomplete. The experience is temporary, transient, unfulfilling. Maharaj says, Naam is the one which fulfills us. And in this way, he always invites us to Naam. These 4 bodies of Sunye is about absorbing the truth of life. I go in intense pain, intense sorrow, intense abject despondency, and I go and meet a guru who really knows. Then all I will do is listen intently. So in this way, all this misery transforms into a very beautiful experience. My listening is always short, it's always less, it's always less intent, it's always wandering, it's not focused. That's the reason I am falling short. I am what I am today from what I have listened to. Who I listen to, what I listen to, is what has made me. When we were growing up, we listened to our parents, our friends, whoever we listened to, we absorbed. There is a psychological term called auto-suggestion. We auto-suggest also. Somebody suggests to us. We don't realize, but in communications, there is always some suggestions dropped which we pick up subconsciously. And it transforms our life. It makes us do some things later because the acceptance has allowed it to go into the subconscious. And this could be good, bad, ugly, whatever. If this was to happen, where we allow the subconscious to accept the Shabad. Shabad is from the beyond, the experience from beyond the physical, from the source of the Creator who has created me. A message from He who controls all happiness and creation of life. What if this becomes my subconscious revelation? This is what Guru Nanak Sahib in his initial parables, in the initial Paudis, told us. When he asked this question, how do I become truth? How do I realize the truth? How do I know the truth? How does the wall of falsehood drop? And then he says, Hukam Razai Chalana. In the Raza, acceptance of the Hukam, the Creator's will, Creator's presence, Creator's order, Creator's love, Naam. Nanak likhya naal. Whatever is with me is my baggage. I accept that. Transformations of life start from listening, absorbing. And if I've absorbed the answer to the right question, then the game is started towards my spiritual journey. It starts for all of us. It has to, somewhere. Because the physical wandering doesn't give us the answers we seek. It doesn't give us the completeness. It doesn't give us the solutions, only problems. Ik Omkar Satnam. In the wanderings of Guru Nanak's journey is beyond the horizons of life. He submits to us all that love and Naam is the solution to all problems of life. Transcendence of death will happen if we absorb that which is right and listen to that which is right. We did the 8th Pauri last time. Let's first listen to the 9th, and then we will go into understanding and talk about what he is exactly saying. Every Pauri is like a step closer to understanding myself. And it's difficult to drop the ego. Literally impossible. So Guru Gobind Singh Sahib says that without love, there is no seeking happening. Saaj kahun main sun leho sabe, jin prem kiyo tin hi prapayo. Those who have loved have found God. Those who have loved have found rest, peace, love within themselves and beyond. They have found Anand. They have transcended death. The 9th Pauri.
सुने ईश्वर वर्मा इंद, सुने मुख सलाहण मंद, सुने जोग जुगत तन भेद, सुने शास्त्र सिमरत वेद, नानक भगता सदा विगास, सुने दुख पाप का नाश, वाहे गुरु।
नानक भगतां सदा विगास, सुने दुख पाप का नाश. Maharaj is now talking about different aspects of Sunye. He wants to bring the point home that without absorbing the right things, listening to the right suggestions, we will not find the path. We go to a party, we go to friends, they give us suggestions. In this world, suggestion is the most given and least followed. But what they are telling us and what somebody is telling me, if what I absorb from it is what transforms me. So death, pain, sorrow, fear, how do these get transformed? These are happening in the field of the mind. They all happen in the changing mind. And he says, Chaltyo man rakhe, amrit chakhe. If you drop the changing mind, the moving mind, you find stability in the mind even for a moment. Amrit chakhe, you will find the amrit, the anand which is beyond life, beyond death. How do you make the mind stable? Sunye is the method of doing it. Maharaj keeps using the Sunye as a tool of his meditation, of his dhyan. In the next body, he will mix Sunye with dhyan. How does dhyan come about? What is dhyan? And if I know dhyan, then it's like a torch. In the darkness of my mind, there is a torch I found. And wherever I beam the torch, I can see what is there. And then I can find what is inside my mind. So dhyan and wandering mind, these are the two opposite things. If my mind is wandering, then I will not have enough energy to correlate, to assimilate, to listen, to absorb, to change. So many of us listen to music. It's transformative. It changes the mood of the mind. In the Americas, there used to be the slave times when the slaves used to live in complete abject misery. And they were not allowed to sing music. So they used to go to the border of their property, the owner's property, and go and sing in the borders. It was called the blues music. And that's how jazz was born. And see how intense the blues is. Blues music is not rhythmic. It doesn't have the rhythms of other music. Beethoven, Bach, these are all mathematical, but not the blues music. It breaks the symphony, the flow, but it creates another beauty. Listening gave them the energy to live through their pain and transcend it. Go into the altered state of mind. So that's why a lot of these jazz musicians used to have drugs, because they were so used to the altered state. That's where the music is born, where I am not. So I'm always seeking that sphere where the ego gets dropped, and I don't have the ability to do it. So they used to take these drugs and drinks to transcend the ego. And a lot of this music is created in that sphere. Listening, makes life, impacts life much more deeply than we think it does. What we have listened to and absorbed to has made us what we are. And if we listen and absorb differently ahead, then it can tell us far more in depth about our life, about ourselves, about our mind than we can fathom. Maharaj says, Suniye Isar Barma Ind. Ishwar, Isar, Shiv, these are the three energies of creation, preserving, and destruction. The three energies are all listening. They are absorbing the orders of the hukam. That's how they have become what they have become. They are all under the hukam of the Creator. The transcendent energies, the powerful energies, they are all listening, absorbing the orders of the Creator. Suniye mukh salahan mand. Those of us who don't have anything good to say about others. Mand. We're negative people. Sometimes all of us are negative. By listening, we can transform negativity into positivity. Suniya mukh salahan mand. They also will transform and they become positive. Salahan, appreciate rather than be negative. The question to be asked is, what is this opportunity of life? And how do I enter this transformative state where the ego mind is not my limited mind. I go beyond that mind. We need the Guru for that, and I need to listen to my Guru for that. And who should be the Guru? Guru Nanak tells us a few things about the Guru in the Siddhas, the dialogue with the yogis. When he says, Satgur ke janme gaman mitaya. When I meet the right Guru, it gives me a new birth, spiritual birth, and my wandering will cease. When my wandering ceases, I know what dhyan is now. Till as long as I'm wandering, I don't have the ability to correlate. I've wandered so many lifetimes, just wandering, seeking, tired now. No answers are complete. There's a very nice story about Guru Amar Das, the third Guru Nanak. He was very aged in his life. And I think when he completed his Guruship, he was beyond 80s. The story says that his nephew's wife, Bibi Amro, used to sing the Gurbani early hours of the day. And they entered his ears. He heard this Bani. And he got pulled in. Now here, what I am seeking, I will find the signals and the sounds and the pulls of that. If I'm not seeking, it's not material. So my seeking is relevant. My questioning of life is relevant. And most of us will question life from its pain, fear, from death. And so without these aspects of life, we will not even seek. From sorrow, we try and find what is the life beyond sorrow. How do I transcend sorrow? How does this all happen? The fifth Guru, Guru Arjan, was executed, shaheed, in a burning, sitting on a burning plate. But he never voiced anything negative. The experience of the gurus is with only one, not two. And their inner absorption seems to be so intense that all other experiences are subservient. We saw Guru Tegh Bahadur here in Chandni Chowk. What I'm trying to say is that there is a reality beyond the physical reality of life. And it gets played out in our mind, in our man. And we are limited in our experiences of the man because we only know the ego mind. We don't know the mind beyond ego. We do know it sometimes. When we fall in love, we drop our egos. We give and take without questioning, without answering. There are no no's in our life then. And those love stories we celebrate. Heer Ranja, Sassi Punnu, Soni Mehwal. These are love stories, Romeo, Juliet. Why do we celebrate them? Because they are not tragedies. The physical is not dictating their reality. They are beyond the physical. Laila Majnu. So the myths and stories gives us a glimpse of the beyond, of the spiritual. The story says that Majnu was last seen looking at the entourage of Laila's marriage procession, standing next to a tree, and was never seen after that. And when you go and stand near the tree, the wind would pass by and you could hear Laila. The eternal love never dies. And the Creator connects to us through love. Not love with a reason. This love and happiness is not with a reason. That's why the ego cannot play out this role. Because we only know love for a reason, happiness for a reason. We don't know anything beyond the reason, beyond conditions. That's why we cannot play out this game. But it can be played between Guru and Sikh. Pir Buddhu Shah is very intense. There was a battle in Pangani with Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj, in which this man lost 4 of his children, of his sons, in one battle. He had sent his children because he had given some Pathans to Guru Sahib who deserted them in the last moment. He went to the camp next day. Guru Maharaj was running a comb through his hair. And Maharaj, out of love, asked Pir Buddhu Shah, ask for what you want. I would like to give you whatever boon you want. And Pir Buddhu Shah says, give me this comb with which you're combing your hair. It's just love. What else is there in the precipitate of life? The rest is an experience which will be temporary, transient. Nobody says don't do it. But those of us who feel that those experiences are forever will live through the pain. So we need to find some unconditional space in our mind, some things in our mind which are beyond the changing mind. The Guru calls it unman, no mind. A mind where there is no conditions. And he uses some words like Sahaj, Anand, Prem, Thirghar, where the mind is stable, where the mind is unmoving. The unmoving mind is one step closer towards our reality. Immersed in the Shabad, it becomes the Guru and Sikh meeting. The yogis asked Guru Sahib, Kavan mool, kavan matvela, kavan guru kiska tu chela? What is the foundation, the mool of this life? Kavan matvela, what is this life for? Kavan guru kiska tu chela? So 3 questions. And the third is, who is your Guru, Guru Nanak? Whose chela are you? Maharaj says, Pavan Aram Satgur Matvela. Pavan Aram. The breath is our foundation of our life. Finding the Satguru is the focus of this life. The permanence in the change. The beauty and the love which can never go away, which can never be hindered. In the ego world, it can be hindered. The experience can be blocked, but not in the spirit world. Bhagavad Ravdas talks about this experience very intently. He says, Mehnam meherna ko atkabe. He talks about a space of the mind where there is no sorrow. Begam pura seher ko naam. Without sorrow is this mind. The city I live in, it's not got any sorrow. He explains the conditions of that experience. Bhagavad Ravdas is the guru of the chamars. And in the end of this Shabad, he said, Meherlam meherna ko atkabe. Nobody can intervene in this meher, in this kirpa, in this grace, in this prasad. In the flow of love, nothing can intervene. If somebody can intervene, then it's not of any value. Sadhu looks after that. A seeker looks and seeks that which cannot be taken away from him. That which can be taken away from us is not with us. It's not our part. We are only an experiencer temporarily. We are only visiting. We don't have rights beyond visitation rights. Whatever we own, if it can be taken away, it's not ours. Whatever we live, if it can be taken away, then it's not ours. That which we can live forever without anybody else intervening in it, that is the power of life. And that's how and why we seek those individuals who've understood this and who've lived it. The rest we have to all depart from. There's nothing wrong or right about it, but it's all our conditioning, what we choose to live, how we choose to know and experience it. But to limit ourselves to only the physical world is a painful experience, is the ultimate loss of life, where we don't understand that which sits in the core of life, that which sits within me, which is forever. Now that's a big loss. Like a shop we can go into. We go into a shop and there are so many things. Some live for a few minutes, some for hours, some for days, some all our life. But there is one thing in this shop which is forever, transcends time, space and cause. And it will rest within our man. Today in the morning, we focused on the Shabad of Guru Tegh Bahadur. Kahere ban khojan jai, sarv nivasi, sada alepa, tohe sang samai. Why are you going to the forest? That which is ever present everywhere, tohe sang samai, lives with you, lives with us, is part of us, is us. Like a flower has essence in it, like a mirror has a reflection in it, पोहप मत जो बास बसत है, मुकरमाए जैसे छाई, तैसे ही हर बसे निरंतर. Just like that, the Creator rests with us constantly, not temporarily, in beyond space and time, constantly. तैसे ही हर बसे निरंतर, काट ही को जो पाई. Find him within yourself. Seek within yourself. बाहर भीतरे को जान. Within and without are the two lives we know. The without is the ego world, the physical world we see through our senses. That's the physical world. But within is the spiritual world. It's actually one, not two. We know it to be two as long as our ego still is with us. The moment we drop the ego, the curtain is gone. तू करता, तू हुआ, मुझ में रहा ना हो. Then he says, जन नानक बिना पाची ने, मिटे ना भ्रम की काई. Without realizing what sits within us in our man, in our own inner reality, the deception will not go away. Mite na bhram ki kai. The moss of deception will not go away till we know it. Suniye is the way we can transform ourselves, absorb the inner reality of life and transform the man forever. Suniye, by listening intently, we absorb our man, our mind, into change forever. Suniye, jog jugat tan ped. Jog is jurna, to join, to connect. Jugat, method. In every religion there is a goal and a method. Jot and jugat. Suniye jog jugat tan ped. And the inner secrets of the physical body, they can all be known by intently listening to the Shabad and beyond the moving mind. All this revelation which comes from the Guru Granth or any Veds or any saints or any Rumi, Lao Tzu, they all come from beyond the ego mind. They don't come from the ego mind. These are revelations from the Creator himself, playing his game. Jog jugat tan pe, suniya sast simrat ved. Simritiyan, Ved, these are the granths of the Hindu tradition. All of them are known by listening, absorbed by listening. What they want to teach us, we can know by just listening to Shabad. By absorbing the man, the reality of the mind. No, we need to see what is the Gyan of life. If I have known the structure of my man that lies within me, then I have met my Creator. And that is the ultimate experience we can get. And in that way we will understand all of creation's structure. I was trained by an immensely spiritual personality, Sant Gyani Niranjan Singh. He had a lot of love for me. In the early years of my growing up, I remember one day I was reading some book, I think it was Krishnamurti, and he just looked at me and he said, read the book of the self. All the answers lie there. All that we want to know is within our man, the self. And in reading that, we have actually understood all that life has to tell us and teach us. The structure of it all. नानक भगतां सदा विगास, सुनिए दुख पाप का नाश. Forever there is happiness in the realm where we absorb from beyond our own ego mind the Shabad of Guru. So when Sahib says this is the time to meet the Guru, Pavan Aram Satgur Matvela, Shabad Guru Surtatun Chela. Shabad is the Guru, and Surt is my ekagar, focused mind, stable mind. The revelation of life will play its role there. And what will happen, Maharaj? Anand paya meri mai Satguru mein paya. I will be full of Anand. My every particle of my being will reverberate with Anand, unconditionally. I will meet my Guru, my God, my Creator. I will find a source within me of happiness which is forever. In sahaj, in stable mind, I'll find love. And all pain will go away. Now, it's not about physical pain. The physical pain visits everyone. The body has its life and it has its illnesses, it has its decay and departure. That's a cycle which plays out. But this is a spiritual experience beyond the physical being. To understand that which is beyond my moving mind, beyond my changing mind, and to live it is to understand the ultimate experience of life. Guru Amar Das heard this Baani by Bibi Amro, and it transformed a seeker into a guru in the long run. That's how he became the guru, by listening intently to this Baani, changed him forever. Then he wanted to meet the guru intensely. He wants to visit the guru because he heard the Baani. It gave him some signals and it changed him forever. And that is how Guru Amar Das came about. I think we have spent an hour on this body, maybe more than I calculated. But let's rest for today with the 9th body, and the 10th and 11th we will do tomorrow. If you have any questions, you want to ask something, you want to discuss, you want to bring some issue up, please do so. If you're on YouTube, you can write it out and we will read it. If you're on Zoom, you can raise your hand and you can ask the question. So 2 more bodies of Sune will remain. If any of you would want to raise your hand, then we will finish with the Anand Sahib after that. If any of you would like to volunteer, that also is welcome. Sune. Nanak Bhagta Sada Vigas, Sune Dukh Paap Ka Na. Would any of you like to to narrate the Anand Sahib, since there are no questions. Vaheguru. Anudeep ji, would you like to say the Anand Sahib? Harneet, please unmute Harneet.
Bhai Guruji, I'm actually in the market right
Achha.
now.
Okay, sorry,
So
that's
there's
fine.
noise in the background.
No problem. I think Harneet has volunteered. So.
Bhai Guruji. Vijay, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. रामकली महला तीजा आनंद एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद आनंद भया मेरी माए सतगुरु मैं पाया सतगुर तां पाया सहज सेती मन बचियां वाधाइयां राग रतन परवार परियां शब्द गावण आइयां शब्दो तंगावो हरि केरा मन जिनी वसाया कहे नानक आनंद होवा सतगुरु मैं पाया ਇਹ ਮਨ ਮੇਰਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਸਦਾ ਰਹੂੰ ਹਰ ਨਾਲੇ ਹਰ ਨਾਲ ਰਹੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਮਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਸਭ ਵਿਸਾਰਣਾ ਅੰਗੀਕਾਰ ਉਹ ਕਰੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਾਰਜ ਸਭ ਸਵਾਰਣਾ ਸਭਨਾ ਗਲਾਂ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਸੁਆਮੀ ਸੋ ਕਿਉ ਮਨੋ ਵਿਸਾਰੇ ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਦਾ ਰਹੂੰ ਹਰ ਨਾਲੇ ਸਾਚੇ ਸਾਹਿਬਾ ਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਤੇਰਾ ਘਰ ਤਾਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦੇਹ ਸੋ ਪਾਵੇ ਸਦਾ ਸਿਫਤ ਸਲਾਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਨਾਮ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਵੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਿਨ ਕੈ ਮਨ ਵਸਿਆ ਬਾਜੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਕਨੇਰੇ ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰੋ ਸਾਚ ਨਾਮ ਆਧਾਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਚਿਨ ਭੁੱਖਾਂ ਸਭ ਗਵਾਈਆਂ ਕਰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਸੁਖ ਮਨ ਆਏ ਵਸਿਆ ਜਿਨ ਇੱਛਾ ਸਭ ਪੁਜਾਈਆਂ ਸਦਾ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਗੁਰ ਵਿਟਹੁ ਜਿਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਇਹ ਵਡਿਆਈਆਂ ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੁਣੋ ਸੰਤੋ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਤਰੋ ਪਿਆਰੋ ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰੋ ਵਾਜੇ ਪੰਜ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਤਿਤ ਘਰ ਸੁਭਾਗੈ ਘਰ ਸੁਭਾਗੈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਾਜੇ ਕਲਾਂ ਜਿਤ ਕਰ ਧਾਰੀਆਂ ਪੰਜ ਦੂਤ ਤੁਧ ਵਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕੰਟਕ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਤੁਰ ਕਰਮ ਪਾਇਆ ਤੁਧ ਜਿਨ ਕੋ ਸੇ ਨਾਮ ਹਰਿ ਕੇ ਲਾਗੇ ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੈਂ ਸੁਖ ਹੋਵਾ ਤਿਤ ਘਰ ਅਨਹਦ ਬਾਜੇ ਆਨੰਦ ਸੁਣੋ ਵਡ ਭਾਗੀ ਹੋ ਸਗਲ ਮਨੋਰਥ ਪੂਰੇ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਾਇਆ ਉਤਰੇ ਸਗਲ ਵਿਸੂਰੇ ਦੁਖ ਰੋਗ ਸੰਤਾਪ ਉਤਰੇ ਸੁਣੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਸੰਤ ਸਾਜਨ ਭਏ ਸਰਸੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਸੁਣਤੇ ਪੁਨੀਤ ਕਹਤੇ ਪਵਿੱਤ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਰਹਿ ਭਰਪੂਰੇ ਬਿਨ ਮੰਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰ ਚਰਨ ਲਾਗੇ ਵਾਜੇ ਅਨਹਦ ਤੂਰੇ ਸ਼ਲੋਕ ਪਵਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਿਤਾ ਮਾਤਾ ਧਰਤ ਮਹਤ ਦਿਵਸ ਰਾਤ ਦੋਇ ਦਾਈ ਦਾਇਆ ਖੇਲੇ ਸਗਲ ਜਗਤ ਚੰਗਿਆਈਆਂ ਬੁਰਿਆਈਆਂ ਬਾਚੈ ਧਰਮ ਦੂਰ ਕਰਮੀ ਆਪੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਕੈ ਦੂਰ ਜਿਨੀ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਆਇਆ ਗਏ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਤ ਕਾਲ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੇ ਮੁਖ ਉਜਲੇ ਖੇਤੀ ਛੁਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਨੀ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਆਇਆ ਗਏ ਮੁਸ਼ੱਕਤ ਕਾਲ, ਨਾਨਕ ਤੇ ਮੁਖ ਉਜਲੇ, ਕੀਤੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਨਾਲ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਹਰਨੀਤ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ ਆਲ ਆਫ ਯੂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।